Hi, I'm your host, Marlo Lemon, and you're listening to Wild Voice, the podcast where I take this voice of mine and share my wild journey with you. Being widowed at 34 with a 15-month-old, most would see as life ending. And instead, I alchemized it and put life back together, and it became more beautiful and fulfilling than I could have ever imagined. Through this life shift of mine, I realized who I am and what I'm here to do. I'm an intuitive energy healer, and sharing how I view the world is how I help you upgrade your life and alchemize your journey into magic. From day one, I wanted to share my journey, call it intuition, but I knew it was going to do more good out in the world than keeping it to myself. So when I say I've mastered life, that doesn't mean I'm perfect or that life is. I mean, I've mastered the concept of life, and I want to share that with you. Okay, today's episode is with the one and only Nash. And Nash and I are going to talk about all sorts of things. I'm going to ask him some questions. He's going to ask me some questions. And we're just going to see where this goes. And I actually should probably introduce you. What'd you say to me when I said I'm going to introduce you? What'd you say? You said, people already know me.
People already know me.
Oh, yeah. But they don't know that we're going to talk today. So hello, everyone. On today's episode, I am going to be interviewing the one and only Nash. And he has some really amazing things he wants to share. He has some really great ideas when we're in the car, when we're just playing, when we're just hanging out. And I want to share some of his bits of wisdom with all of you. And I think he has a lot that we can talk about and that can not only help us as parents, as people, as friends, but also help our little humans in our life too. So here we go. Hi, Nash. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks.
Okay. So we've been wanting to do a podcast together for a long time, haven't we?
Yeah.
And when I started my podcast, you were really supportive and you've known about it and you've heard me recording and you've heard me talk about it a lot. And what do you say when I'm when I'm recording or doing stuff? You pretended to be me one time.
I pretend to be mom one time.
You did. What'd you do?
I pretend to do the guitar.
Oh, yeah. And what was the other thing you did? You pretended to be wild. You put glasses on and then you said, hello, everyone. What'd you say? Do you remember? You said, hello, everyone. I'm Marlo, and you're listening to the Wild Boys podcast. Do you remember doing that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you say we're very busy. Our body's very busy. We're touching everything. Is it because you're excited? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So we talk about a lot of fun things and you have a lot of good ideas. And what's something you talk to me about that has to do with dreams and that we've figured out ways to make you feel better and feel more comfortable when you have, what do you call them? Are they bad dreams?
So if you have people that are not with you, they can watch over you.
That is a great one. So that is something we talk about, that even though you can't see someone, that doesn't mean that they're not around and that they're not watching over you. We talk about that with your daddy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we talk about that just because you can't see him doesn't mean he's not watching over you. And that's really cool because why? Why is that really cool that just because you can't see him and he's not here? Is it because
It's because he can protect us from bad dreams.
he can, and he can be around you when I can't, right? Because I can't be every place all the time. So the people that are no longer here that we can't see, they watch over us and they can be with us whenever we want. So if you're like, where are some places you would ask him to watch over you when I can't be with you?
I will tell him to watch over Moji when I'm not with him when he's home alone.
Oh, yes. And Moji is your little pet dog that Santa brought you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a pretend dog, but we treat him like he's real, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What's another thing that you would have him watch over you for or go with you if you're like, hey, I'd love some, I'd love your help, or I'm scared, or I'm worried. Can you, do you do it when you go to school?
Yeah.
Do you know I do it sometimes when you're not with me? I ask him, I say, hey, okay, I'm tapping you in. It's your turn. Watch over Nash, please. Do you know I do that too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a really cool way for us to feel like the people that aren't with us and that might be somewhere else, like heaven, or they're no longer in their bodies, they still have a way to watch over us
Yeah.
and that we still can feel them. What's another way that we can feel that you feel daddy around, even though you can't see him? Oh, you have something else to say? You can say it.
So even if you're you have nightmares and you didn't know, you can you can put a golden dinosaur egg around you.
That's one of my favorite things that we've talked about. So, what is the dinosaur egg and how does that make you feel?
It blocks our nightmare
It does.
and it makes us feel good.
So, it's something we do to make you feel safe and comfortable, especially if you're feeling uneasy or scared or worried, or when you're going places. Even if we go places together, do we do that even when we go places together?
Yes.
And we do it for your dreams. And should I explain to people what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So, a dinosaur egg is something that Nash and I talked about for when he was having a bad dream or when he was scared. And I said, there's this magical rule when it comes to the spiritual world, and that the color gold is really, really powerful. And it's really, really powerful. And it is a protector and it protects you from everything and anything. So, but you have something else to say? Okay, go ahead.
So when you're going into when you're going into someone's house and you're a little bit nervous, there's a green golf ball that goes around you.
You are tackling all the good things. Okay, let me finish telling them about the gold dinosaur egg and then let's tell them about the connecting. So, this gold idea is that it's a protector and it can protect you from anything and it's very powerful. So, we love dinosaurs, don't we?
Yeah.
And so we decided that what would be something that would keep you safe and be easy to remember and that you could visualize really easily. And visualize means like, what could you see in your mind? And that was a dinosaur egg. We know what that looks like. And we know things go inside dinosaur eggs.
Yeah.
So you are the thing inside the dinosaur egg. And the dinosaur egg, you picture all around you, right?
Yeah.
You're like in it. And it's this
Mhm.
beautiful gold dinosaur egg. And what that does is if you put yourself in that dinosaur egg, there is this rule that everyone needs to follow, no matter just, you don't even have to say it. Just by thinking it and choosing to be in that gold dinosaur egg and visualizing it with your mind, your beautiful imagination, everyone else has to listen to that. So that keeps you safe and protected, just like if you don't want people to see you or if you want to feel safe. So you could do that right before you go to bed if you feel like uneasy about sleeping, or I tell you to do that in your dreams to protect you when you have bad dreams. You picture yourself in a gold dinosaur egg before you go to bed, before you fall asleep. You can do that anytime. And we even do that when we walk into places because it can protect you from all things and make you feel safe. So we do that before we go into maybe a grocery store or to school or somewhere where we're feeling nervous or just because. So back to the green light that you talked about. So we use the word source, but insert whatever you believe in. It is for that higher power, that creator, where we come from, the higher power that is watching over us.
And there's many else things that are in your body that go around you.
Yes, you're right. And so we connect to source before we do things or before we have a big conversation or before we go somewhere because it keeps us in our highest alignment. And what that means is it keeps us feeling the most like ourselves.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes we get frustrated or we have emotions and it makes us feel not so much like ourselves? And we feel like, whoa, I feel crazy right now. or I feel wild, or I feel fidgety, or I feel frustrated. Okay, go ahead.
So when when you're different than people, you can still do more different things that people that other people don't know how to do.
I knew I had you on here for a reason. You're talking about all the good stuff. Okay, should I finish telling them real quick about connecting? So, connecting, what that means is when we go places or we feel nervous, it's similar to the dinosaur egg, but we just intend to connect to that higher power of ours. And what that does is it just aligns us with the most amazing things, the most amazing experiences, the things that we are meant to experience in this life in the most effortless way. So, that gold light he was talking about has to do with our heart chakra. And that's opening up our heart chakra and putting love on anything is a good idea, huh? Even when things are tough. So that's what Nash is talking about when he talks about connecting and that green light. We have an open heart and everything else becomes a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
Okay. So to your point of being different, I would like to hear what you think being different means. What do you think that means to be different?
It means that you can do different things that other people can't do, and you still get to go places that and you're off that other people don't know how to go, and you also have in a different one. I have another one to say.
Okay.
Some people have small hearts and some people have big hearts.
Okay. Yeah. What does that look like if someone has a small heart or a big heart? There was both still good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because if they're like small, that means they're like tiny.
Oh, do you think even if someone's tiny, they can have a big heart though?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it just is a big heart and a small heart. You thinking like size or how it feels or how they
Like
act?
how it feels.
How it feels.
Yeah.
Some people have a smaller heart than others, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That is actually very true. So, to your point of being different, we love talking about this because it's really important for us to know that just because we do things different or we feel different, no, my nails aren't wet.
You know how long these were?
What my
Like,
we're talking about my nails right now.
like this
Yeah,
long. We should leave them like this.
I should leave them super long. Um, we went on a nail date yesterday, so I'll tell people. And so I had gotten acrylic nails, which I haven't done since I think I was in
11 years old.
probably like college. And it was an experience, that's for sure. I don't know if I'll do it again.
And mom didn't have time to do a mani and pedicure. She only had time to do her nails, but I had time to do both.
You did. It's right. The acrylic nails, I forgot how long they take, and I did not have time to do my pedicure, which is actually what I was very excited about. But you did a mani pedi, and you're a really good mani pedi date. What colors did you get on your toes?
I got white, glittery, and green.
Ooh.
And it's like green, white, green, white, green, white.
Yeah.
And on the letter toe, it's white, green, white, green, white.
So what you're saying is it's like every other.
And it's the same one, and it's the same on my nails. It's green, white, green, white, green. And on the letter hand, it's like white, green, white, green, white.
Thank you for that. Is that called a?
Every other.
Oh, good job. I thought you were going to say pattern because you said that to me the other day, and I was like, what the heck? You know what a pattern is? Okay, back to being different. We think it's really cool. It's just what we want to tell people is that we know what it feels like to feel different. And that is actually pretty awesome because that means anyone, or actually, we know anyone that's done really amazing things, which we all are here to do really amazing things, that they were actually thought to be a little weird or different first. So just know if you do things different, Nash and I have figured out, that means you're onto something. Oh, you have something else to say.
And some people have a small house or a big house. And like we have a small house. And so some people have small so it can fit more stuff. And we have more stuff that we can fit. And it's okay.
That is so true. It's okay to have a small house or a big house.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get both in different times of your life, right?
We got a big house and a small.
Yeah.
Because when we were at a different city, We had a big house. Now we have a small house. All we have is a bathroom and
Face that
all I have is a bathroom and mom's room and my room. Those are all the rooms I have.
way. Yeah, but do we have a kitchen?
Yeah, and it's okay
Yeah, it is. Because do we get to live by the beach?
because some people have small kitchens and big kitchens.
Yeah, it's like stages of life. And we were trying it out. We were moving here. And that's why people should know that it's okay. It normally, wherever you're at, is exactly where you're supposed to be, huh?
Mhm. And even if you touch some stuff that like some crystals, they make you feel good and they protect you.
We did not plan this, everybody. Nash is just saying all of these magical things. So, crystals, you know, I love a good crystal, huh?
Yeah. And one of my friends found this rock that had crystals in it
Oh my
and
gosh.
gave it to my mom.
Who was it?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I love crystals and I love the way that they make us feel. And they're just fun to have around, right? And if nothing else, they're pretty beautiful and magical looking, aren't they? Oh, we're on the move. Oh, yes. What are you pointing at? Tell people what you're pointing at. Is that sage?
So I'm pointing at sage, and even if you put it around your house, it makes you feel the same thing when your heart grows bigger.
Oh, it gives you that same feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like to burn sage because sage can clear the energy of the room. And we like the way it smells too, huh?
Yeah.
What happens sometimes if we walk around too fast with our sage while it's burning?
It the charcoal falls and we don't, and one time it fell on mom's bed, but now it came off.
It did. But now, what's our rule when we're walking around with sage?
We don't put it over furniture.
Ding, 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 ding. Okay. So, what is something else? If all your friends are listening or parents, what do you think is something really important for a parent to know? Any parent, even me. If you're like, I wish my mom knew this, or I wish she understood this about me, what do you think it would be?
I don't know.
What is something you think that we should know as a parent, or I should know, or you wish I understood better as you being a kid?
That it's okay that you have other things that people don't. And it's okay that you have more room.
Oh, that's pretty magical. What do you think is something really important for your friends to know, for all your friends listening?
That I really care about them and I love them.
Nash Lemon, you were like born for this.
Hmm.
Do you want your own podcast?
Yeah.
What is something we talked about? We were in the car the other day and we were trying to find kid podcasts and we were having a really hard time finding it, finding one that we liked, that we both like to listen to. And what did we decide we wanted to do? Maybe create our own?
We wanted to create our own, and then in the second podcast that we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about a very old hot dog.
So you want to do storytelling because you were wanting to listen to stories, huh? When we were in the car the other day and we
And
were
it was
finding
about a
some.
very old hot dog.
And so what is this story you
Hot
keep
dog,
talking
hot
about?
dog, hot diggity dog.
Hot dog, hot dog, hot diggity dog. So we wanted to do stories. And what would be your first story about this hot dog? Give people a little example. Did you just bite your cheek?
No.
Your tongue? Oh, there's something in your tooth. Okay, what's an example of a story real quick before we say goodbye to everybody?
So there's a very old hot dog in it and a cookie and pizza.
And what happens to those three?
They so the cookie it's inside and the hot and it took $1,000 to buy it. And the hot dog been sitting outside for 1,000 years. And then the pizza, it was inside good. And they told me to close your eyes and think about a pizza. And I thought of one that's in my imagination that it had pepperoni on top and pepperoni sauce.
And then what?
And then they kept telling the story.
That sounds amazing. So we want to do something like that, don't we?
Yeah.
Create stories and then share them with people so they can listen to them and their parents don't feel like they're going crazy.
Yeah.
So what's the next topic? Let's say if we're going to do a story, we'll let people know for the next time we do a podcast together.
Like some people like different stories, and some people like stories that they like, and some people don't like stories they like.
Yes, everyone likes different stories. So we'll have a combination of all other things. And I want to say something else that I'm really proud of you on. And I think it's something that,
It's using my brain.
yes, using your brain. I think that's amazing. But what else do you do that I find really special? And it comes in handy a lot when you check in with your
Body if I want something.
yes. And what do we call that when we check in with our body?
So if
Is that like is it called your in?
it's intuition, and if you want to have something, and you have to ask your body if they say yes, and if that feels like they're saying yes, you can have it, and when it's saying no, you can't have it.
So what we've learned and what you're doing a really good job with is checking in with our body, which even some adults don't do for when we want to do anything, because learning to check in with your body is important for all ages of your life. Yeah. And so when you learn when you're young, exactly. So when you learn when you're young, it makes it a lot easier when you get older. So checking in with your body when you want to eat something, when you want to eat candy, if you want to eat some other foods, if you want to go somewhere, if you want to play, if you want to say something.
And if you want to drive a long ways, even if you feel a little funny in your body, you have to check in your body.
Yep. Just checking in and learning what a yes feels like and what a no feels like, huh?
You can also have this cool crystal that has a string, and you hold it steady, and you say, show me a yes, and it shows you a yes. And then you're like, show me a no. And you say a word one at a time. And then if and then like then you ask it if like, should I travel a long way? And if it does the same thing that doesn't know, that means don't do it. And if it does the same thing that it did doesn't yes, you can do it.
That's a great explanation. And it is. And you're talking about a pendulum. And that is something that we use to help understand what our body's telling us.
Yeah.
So you ask it a question, you ask it to show you a yes or a no first, so you know what that looks like. And these are things that maybe we could teach people someday and show them how to do so they have these options for themselves in their back pocket. Oh, we bought one from a shop downstairs. Yeah. We kind of just go with what calls out to us. But we can tell people how to find them and then teach them how to ask the questions. Okay. So before we say goodbye to everybody, is there anything else you want to say when you say?
So there's some stuff that people want to say. You can always make your own podcast.
Oh, that's a great little note to end on. So, yeah, if you have anything you want to say, make your own podcast, everybody.
Like we just did.
Yeah, like we just did. All right, you. Well, I love you very much. And thank you for being on the Wild Voice podcast.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks so much for being here. Please rate, like, share, and review so we can stay connected and continue this magical journey together.